Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I have another GFX video for you guys. So as you can see, I'm going to be commentating this video because I know you guys really loved how I commentated the last one, so I am going to try and start doing that for my GFX videos from now on. So for this GFX, I'm kind of making a sort of fair themed one. So I added in, of course, the iconic things you see at fairs. I added a Ferris wheel, I added a food truck, I added cotton candy that my character probably got at the food truck. And I just absolutely love this set. I just think it is so adorable and cute. So right now I am just getting it all set up. I'm moving it away from the center of Blender a little bit because it was making me lag so bad. It's just a huge set and was giving me terrible lag. So right now I'm just getting my character set up in her pose, just kind of turning her arms a little bit, turning her legs, giving her the cotton candy, all those good things. I absolutely love this outfit on my character. I think it is such a cute outfit. I definitely recommend it. I kind of wish I picked a pink outfit to go with the cotton candy and the whole GFX theme, but you know, kind of thought of that after I was done rendering for a long time. So, you know, instead of changing this GFX, I will just take the advice to myself in the next GFX, I guess, if that makes sense. So just kind of finishing up the pose, and then I'm going to bring the set back over. Because, like I said before, the set was lagging me so bad, so I had to move it away while I was posing my character and then bring it back because it was just too much lag for me. And I definitely thought the recording might have gotten messed up if I just let it sit there. So now I'm just kind of turning my character around, getting the camera ready, all those good things. I'm just kind of selecting the size of the camera. I got it wrong, so I fixed it, and then posing my character. As you can see, I put her way too high off the ground, so now we are putting her down on the ground where she needs to be, standing on the floor. Also, as you guys could see, the render distance was kind of turned down really low, so the background wasn't loading in, which was super weird. It was a really weird situation, but eventually I got it figured out, and then I added in my HDRI. I absolutely love this one. I love the pink tones, so I'm just kind of looking around for where the sun is and getting the whole set lined up for where I want the lighting to be. I know there's an easier way, I think in the notes editor, where you can turn the HDRI manually, but I've never really been able to do that. I did it once after a friend showed me, but then I never remembered how to do it because I'm kind of forgetful. So hopefully I can remember again in the future. If you guys know how to turn HDRIs, then let me know down in the comments. So now I just fixed the background, turned up the render distance, and now I'm kind of turning my camera at an angle to make it a more dramatic picture, I guess, if that makes sense. It looked too plain without the turn, so I kind of added it to add more drama to the whole thing. I'm kind of coloring the ground a little bit to make it darker, and then just checking my render again to see how it looks. I end up adding in another HDRI, but I didn't like how this one looked as much, so unfortunately I end up going back. And now I am just kind of changing all the settings. I think here is where Blender stopped responding for me. It just completely gave up on me and stopped responding. So we'll just wait for that to come back. Have you guys ever had GFX? I've had this before, where Blender stops responding, and then instead of being able to get it back, your whole Blender just crashes. That is the absolute worst thing. I made sure I was saving throughout the whole GFX. So now Blender has started responding again, and as you can see, I hit the little save button at the top so it would save. It's lagging again a little bit here. There we go. Now we are back on track. Finally got it responding again after like 5 minutes. So now we are just, I think, changing the camera up a little bit too. Yes, we are actually blurring the items in the background. I absolutely love doing this for my GFX now. This is the first time I've done it, and it's definitely not going to be the last. I absolutely love how it turned out looking with the background just all blurred out in the distance. It looks so good. I definitely recommend doing it. Now I think we are getting pretty close to the time where I start rendering. I think I'm just testing out a few more things, looking around, fixing the ground, because unfortunately I think I didn't put the ground close enough and everything was floating, I guess. So the background was just floating and the ground was too far away. It was weird. Thankfully I saw it before I started rendering and got it fixed. Now I'm just trying to add in another lamp for a little bit of a dramatic effect. Unfortunately, I don't think it ended up showing up or working. I'm not a Blender pro, as you guys may know from all my other videos. So I don't think I really got it working, but if you know why the lamp wasn't working, of course, as always, let me know down in the comments. I always love to get tips from you guys because you guys know so much more than I do. Now here's where I start rendering the GFX. I always leave this part in the video because there are always people down in the comments talking about how satisfying it is to watch the whole render come together. As I said before in the last video, it is not satisfying when you are watching it waiting for it to be done for a long time. This render is probably one of the longest renders I've had to wait for in a while. Now we are in paint.net. I am just selecting a background right now that'll work perfectly for this GFX. Have to make sure that the sun is not in the background because sometimes I have made that GFX mistake where I leave the sun in the background but also the sun is shining down on the character, like on the front of the character. So it just doesn't look right sometimes. So if you need a GFX tip, I definitely give you that one. Make sure the sun is not in the background and also shining down on the front of your character, because sometimes that can mess up the perspective a little bit. GFX tips from me. I guess that can be a series if we want it to be. Now I'm just adding a little bit of shading to the character. I just really like doing this as a style. I don't know why. Sometimes it can look kind of off, but I'm just really happy usually with how it turns out, especially if I kind of erase some of it sometimes. Now we are just adding some shine as well. Don't worry, I eventually end up turning down the shine because I realize it's way too much. So towards the end, I end up turning it down. Now I'm just getting some texture overlay for the ground because I noticed that the ground looked way too smooth. I kind of wanted it to look like concrete. So, you know, concrete does not look like that. It is not that smooth. It's got bumps and potholes and all those different types of things. So I'm just selecting my character to make sure that I do not get the concrete texture on my character, but I just get it on the ground, and that is it. So I am just loading that in and just kind of fading it out a little bit. I ended up trying a different one because I didn't like how that one looked. So now we are just changing the color a little bit because it was too light, and then just blurring out the edges so it does not look so odd on all the edges. I'm not a pro at this. I try my best, honestly. Now we're just adding some particle overlays. I think this one is so cute. I use it in a lot of my shadow heads and things like that. Now I'm adding a different particle overlay that's a little bit more pink. Of course, in the end, I feel like this GFX started to take on a little bit of a pink theme, so I definitely had to make sure I got a pink particle overlay on there. Now I'm adding a little bit of shadows and a little bit of sunshine, and I absolutely love how this sunshine turned out. I just think it looks so cute. And now I think we are going back for another particle overlay. No, we are adding shadow behind my character. I was wrong. We are now adding shadow behind my character just to give it a little bit more depth. I'm really trying to give my GFX more depth. If you have any tips for that, please let me know. But sometimes I feel like everything just kind of looks like a flat picture, like there's no background. It's just kind of like everything's all in one, which I don't really want to go for that vibe. So definitely trying to add a little bit more depth to my GFX. Just adding a little bit of background, adding more pink because you can never have too much pink on a GFX, obviously. And just kind of changing the settings a little bit, adding more particle overlays to try and make it, again, have a little bit more depth. And now we are adding some lights onto it to give it a little bit of a different effect. And I end up turning off one of the effects, and I really like how this looks. So now I end up adding a black background all the way around. I guess it's more of a border than a background, but I just like it because if you add it along the borders and then add the overlay effect to it, I just feel like it gives it way more depth and kind of makes the background border kind of look a little bit darker and different. But yeah, and there's my watermark, and that is pretty much it. So here's the finished product. I hope you guys like it. I really like how this one turned out. As you guys know, if you've been subscribed to me for a little while, pink is my favorite color, so definitely I absolutely love the pink in this GFX. I just think it is so cute. But if you guys like this GFX, please be sure to leave a big thumbs up and also comment down below, again, if you like the commentary on these videos, and I will keep doing it. Also, if you are new, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you get future notifications whenever I post. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!